Hey guys, my name is Nico, and today we're going to be talking about how often should you hear from your workers' comp attorney. To preface this, I'm not an attorney. I don't have any legal advice for you, given I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a guy that has been going through the workers' comp system and wants to help you guys out just a little bit. So if you have really questions that you really need answers to, make sure to consult an attorney, and always do that before making big decisions. As much as I'm helping, I don't want you guys to make a rash decision just because I said something. So let's go ahead and jump in. This is a topic that I have dealt with and struggled with for a little bit when my case was first starting. And to quickly preface this, your attorney should contact you as often as they need to. And that is the most vague thing in the world, but it's true. So you don't really need to talk to your attorney every single day or on every single development. And that is something that I struggled with because I thought I needed to be in contact with my attorney 24/7, and I thought that every time I called her office, I needed to talk to her. I was like, I don't want to talk to the legal assistant. I don't want to talk to the receptionist. Like, they don't know what needs to happen. Like, the attorney needs to know. And that was a big misconception and a big problem on my side that I've dealt with. And we're going to address that just a little bit further in the video too. So what are some factors that can affect your attorney communication? And it took me a while to understand that my one phone call can take up more time than I imagined, as I stated here. And I actually went to Reddit when I was first looking it up, and I was like, guys, like, why is there so much email? Why is nobody talking to me? Like, what is going on? And a lawyer on there stated that they're probably overwhelmed and they can't be on the phone for every single client. Like, I might have one adjuster and one attorney, but they have hundreds, if not thousands of people. So that made a big difference for me, is understanding that they have, while it's a very slim view I'm looking at, they have like a massive view and a massive amount of people. And there's a lot of other factors that can mess with your communication. So the complexity of the case, your case could be really complex and they're looking for a lot of stuff to try to help you get updated. The urgency, so it could be time sensitive, like, hey, I need this emergency surgery right now, or a court date, you haven't got your benefits yet, and they're spending time preparing that compared to just talking to you. Your attorney's workload, this is what we mentioned earlier, like they are very busy. From what I've heard, that the workers' comp system isn't the biggest money maker, so they have hundreds of clients just rolling in and out. So it's like a conveyor belt of injured workers, basically. And then the mode of communication. So if you communicate email, they're more likely to respond within business hours. But if you do text, they can respond outside of business hours. I've never texted my attorney, so that might be on case-by-case basis for people and availability. An example of this is I called my attorney this week because I've just reached MMI, and she wasn't able to take my call because she had another person's case that she had a big deposition come up, so they weren't able to take my call, but I spoke to the legal assistant. And then there's also been times like she was on vacation and just a bunch of different availability issues. And then miscommunication. Sometimes this does happen. This has happened once between us, but it wasn't the biggest factor. It's just, hey, I expected this communication. We didn't get that. Some communication guidelines is when I would recommend when you go to talk with your attorney for the first time, if you're like trying to get your what they do and if they're trying to sign with you or not, ask them, be like, hey, how often should we talk? What should we talk about? Will I be referred to your legal assistant? Am I able to call at any time? Having all these questions answered before will not make you feel like you're just being left high and dry and no one's answering your questions, even though you have an attorney. And if you guys want, so this is the article I have written over the topic. Of course, this video won't be updated because you can't update videos on YouTube at the moment, but this article will continue to be updated and have links added to it, have different scenarios, all those very good things. So just go ahead. The link will be in the description of the video. You guys can check it out and continue reading whenever you need more answers for this topic. So setting expectations. This is kind of what we just talked about. You want to schedule a meeting, be specific, discuss your preferred mode of communication, clarify expectations, establish a schedule, and then follow up. So that's basically all that's in the article. And I just want to talk a little bit more about what I'll probably add it into the article. And I mentioned it earlier, is your attorney doesn't have to be there for everything. They do need to be there for like every doctor's visit. So, hey, how was your doctor's visit? Any updates? Or if, say, your benefits are being cut out and no one knows it. So I was supposed to have a full check and I got a half check this week for some odd reason. So I had to contact my attorney and be like, hey, I didn't get paid the right amount. Those are scenarios in which you should contact your attorney. But if you're just like, hey, how's my case going? My injury's looking good. Those are things that you can email, or it can come back at a later date and they can talk to you about it. And then don't be afraid to talk to the receptionist, and don't be afraid to talk to any help that's helping them, because they're just as educated on the topic that you're dealing with as they are. And if they're not, they will refer you to the attorney. So I've had one question I have that she didn't know the answer to. She's like, hey, I will have Anna call you because I don't know the answer and you do need this answer. So that is something to be conscious of, is to learn to trust the team, because the team is there to help you. They're not like on the other side and they're kind of like a battle with you. They're there to help you too. They're on the same team. So that is all I have for today. Hopefully that answered your question. I'm still working on trying to make these videos better and make them a little bit more organized so that they're easier to follow. But this is my first one for this channel, and they will keep getting better over time. So if you guys have any critiques, or if you just want to talk about your guys' journey, sometimes the struggle is just, you just want to be listened to, just go ahead and comment below and tell me about your story, and I'd be love to hear it and respond back to you. So thank you guys. Good luck with your journey, and you'll get through it. Don't worry. It'll just take some time or some effort.